So while the Fed may be committed to killing your job and, destroying your personal finances, according to some, there is some good news. So let's go ahead and put this up on the screen. You literally cannot make this up. This is from the Associated Press. They tweeted this article. They say, leadership of the Federal Reserve has become its most diverse ever. There are more female, Black, and gay officials contributing to the central bank's interest rate decisions than at any time in its 109-year history. So guys, don't you feel better that it is diverse leadership that is causing you to potentially lose your job and have your household finances collapse? Yeah. Doesn't that make you feel better about the whole thing, guys?
This is really like the rainbow bombs meme, or they're like people looking up and be like, well, at least it's women pilots who are bombing us today. I mean, it's funny too. And the offense that people are taking about this. So, Republican candidate Blake Masters, look, Blake, he's gotten himself in some trouble. We're going to do a whole segment tomorrow on how he's removed some abortion language. And I literally do mean removed, and begging Mitch McConnell for more money, even though McConnell just slashed some money there. Anyway, so he put out a tweet today making fun of this, saying, finally, a compelling explanation for why our economy is doing so well. And he is now being attacked by the national press for supposedly being a bigot. Now listen, I mean, it's a glib tweet, but the point is why should you care what the leadership of the Fed is doing if they are causing you pain? Like Paul Volcker was a white man, it's like, oh, well, if we'd had more diverse voices in the 1970s, everything would have been hunky-dory. No, we're just repeating actually very similar policy to then. So if anything, we have a more diverse crop of people who are not learning the same lessons.
Right. Well, the problem is that they're not diverse in terms of like their thinking. Their approach.
Maybe that's what matters.
They continue to all be beholden first and foremost to Wall Street. And until you get some diversity of thought with regards to that, you're going to replay the same mistakes over and over and over again. But yeah, I mean, it was too perfect an encapsulation of like hollow liberal identity politics brain to not bring it up. And, you live by the sword, you die by the sword too, because I think it's very likely in the next presidential election cycle that Republicans pick a woman or, Tim Scott or, somebody as their vice presidential candidate. It's like, well, look, I thought you were for progress. Here's some diversity. Don't you guys support this? Isn't this what you were after? Listen, diversity is a great thing. We want everyone to have opportunities to succeed and, whatever, meritocracy, all that good stuff. But it matters a lot more that you have this sort of diversity of thought and that you have actually like different policy ideas, not just everybody, a sort of like different demographics represented, but the same exact terrible ideology, which is what we usually end up getting.
That's where it reminds me of like, you can't go public on the NASDAQ unless you have like one person of color who's a woman on your board. I'm like, oh, that will certainly impact
That's made capitalism so much better.
Like, yes, has it had a material change on the way that these companies behave themselves? Take a look at our block on the Moderna and Pfizer vaccine, and you can decide for yourself. All right.
Cable news is ripping us apart, dividing the country, making it impossible to function as a society, and making it impossible to know just what is true and what is false. But the good news is they are failing and they know it.
That is why we're building something new, a new mainstream, a healthier one, something more trustworthy, something that we are going to need in one of the most pivotal times in American history. We are building up here for the midterms, for the upcoming presidential election, but we need your help. So if you can help us out by becoming a premium member today at breakingpoints.com, we're trying to change America for the better and the entire world.
So what are you waiting for, guys? Go to breakingpoints.com and sign up and help us build a new mainstream.